Culturally Clueless.
All right, guys, salam. It's time for Culturally Clueless, brand new episode, of course. And can we get Cory Booker out of here? 25 hours of, great. Round of applause. Well done. Okay. And Netanyahu, it's time for him again. Within the past 9 months, he's visiting the US for the third time. I guess it's time for laundry. And it's the second month, and there is no aid coming into Gaza whatsoever. All these things we're not going to talk about on this episode. And guess who's here, guys? So stay tuned to find out. All right. We're here, guys. Salam. We made it, and look who's here. So you guys wanted him, and here he is. We delivered, finally.
You can leave Maria alone in the comments. Thank you very much.
No, you can talk to Maria in the comments. So people were able to, they actually made a couple of jokes. You was on a bike, then you swam, and then you walked, right?
He was pedaling.
That's how it is,
he's pedaling.
I was pedaling from Australia, to the sea, and then I had to swim across the continents, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it took me a while because it was Ramadan. I was fasting. It took me a while until I made it here, and I had to stop in every country and have my iftar based on their local time.
Ooh.
And here I am. I made it.
That's a whole episode. How did
you couldn't say I was stopping in every country advocating for Palestine? That would sound.
Why are you?
Yeah, I was having iftar, and then I was advocating. Because I couldn't advocate while I was hungry. That's the thing. I can't. I'm hungry.
Why are you telling him how to tell his story? What is this?
It sounds better.
Well, Maria being, the nicest person ever, being herself.
Maria being Maria. Let's leave it at that.
Exactly.
So are you happy to be here? Very right.
Me or Maria?
You.
I'm always happy to be with you guys.
Please address your fans that are waiting for this moment for a long time.
Good morning, because I'm in the morning time. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Whoever's watching me from all countries, from all continents. Your favorite brother from Australia is here today.
MashaAllah.
I do apologize. MashaAllah, exactly. I do apologize for taking me too long. You can understand that I live on another planet, and it took me a while to make it here. As you could see in the comments, and as we discussed today, I took multiple or different means of transportation, but I made it eventually. And this is all for you guys. All right. So no more comments asking for me. I'm going to be here, inshallah, multiple times. If you like the episode today, if you don't like it, please keep the comments for yourselves. And only give me some positive comments.
Okay, we can delete it.
That's why the editing music, is there. All right, I think that's more than enough. Thank you very much. Bismillah, mashallah.
Bismillah. Okay, so we always start with Maria's question, and that is the scary moment.
Okay, disclaimer, guys, second day with the camera is stupid and uncomfortable. So if you see me fidgeting or making faces, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry too. Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. This is gonna be the longest hour, but okay.
Are you sorry?
I'm gonna fidget with you.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry?
Me? You're not doing it for me, bro.
For you. Okay,
I literally had to blackmail her, but we know that already.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I'm that serious with my blackmail as well.
Can't believe it.
I'm not gonna ask for details here. So
off camera, you can have the details. Gladly have the details. On camera one day, maybe.
Okay, let's start with my question.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try to say it as best as I can. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
So I was scrolling to TikTok and I saw this news about a dating app exclusive for Muslim people.
Saddam's is getting canceled. And as somebody who started a Muslim matchmaking service, y'all have been blowing up my DMs. However, the last thing I want to do is talk smack about a Muslim-run company, but it's no longer Muslim-run. As I'm sure a lot of you have heard, Saddam's was acquired by Match Group, the same Match Group that owns Tinder and Hinge, and the same Match Group with a pro-Zio CEO. The same CEO who was literally supporting efforts to pay IDF soldiers rent while they were fighting in Gaza. Now, just like almost everybody else that I know, I use Saddam's. And now all of our highly sensitive and private data is in the hands of a pro-Zio CEO and can be used in a million different ways to sabotage our community. This is more than just a company changing hands. It is a massive betrayal to the Muslim community.
This app was bought out by Zionist company like Meta, I think like the other dating website. What was the other dating website that they saw there? I forgot the name. eHarmony?
Dating websites?
A dating website, yes. They a Zionist.
Yeah.
A Zionist
every one of them are dating Tinder.
Tinder, that one.
Oh my god.
The Zionist company bought this dating app that was exclusive for the Muslim people. Mm-hmm. And now, obviously, the users are very upset and outrageous because their data is compromised. So that is one of the news that I saw today. So it triggered my question because did you guys use a dating website specifically for your religion? I think I heard that for Islam is prohibited dating. Is that true?
Well, that's a very good question. So first of all, out of curiosity, I need to ask what is the name of that dating website? Is it like Halal Tinder or Barakallahu Bakuma wa Baraka Alaykuma or something?
One of them.
You know, they have a few of those, like Muslims.com or Muslim Metro or whatever. They have a few of those.
That's crazy, like how creative people are getting nowadays. But, you know, look, the dating itself, it depends on how are you describing it? Okay. Like I don't want to be, I don't want to be controversial here, right? But like if you think about the arranged marriage, okay, let's just think about it this way, right? The arranged marriage is, you know, when the families, the families would really know each other and they would propose, and then it is later on, you know, especially during the engagement time, right? You know, the man and the woman, they can see each other, they can go out with each other, but under some rules, right? Some rules basically that they shouldn't really be alone in one place, and you know, and there are some regulations, let's call it this way, right? So, isn't that seen or considered like pretty much dating, but it's the halal way?
It's halal dating, not the Western kind of dating.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was answering basically, when Maria said that dating is not allowed. Well, dating under that frame, well, it is halal. It is allowed, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem with the dating apps and dating through those methods, the problem is that how is that dating happening? What is happening during that dating? You know, like when they meet each other, what sort of information, what sort of information are shared between the two when they are dating each other, or when they are meeting each other, finding each other, right? So I think this is where you can get into the point where, okay, we are slipping away, far away from the halal side, right? Let alone the personal information that everyone's talking about. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys.
No, I would have answered it the same way, because that's the thing with this dating apps. Some people get like their morals become weaker, and they might just share stuff or do stuff that yeah, that is kind of like it's easier to be done, and starting with sending particular pictures, or too many pictures. However, like I don't know what the standard for everybody is, and people are different, so that as well. And it's a little bit awkward because I mean I don't know, I've never in my life used any dating app, but from what I know and from what I'm hearing, I don't know. I call it sometimes incest on Tinder because there are so many people who date each other and they know each other and they date the same people. So I don't know. I find dating
Did you
apps
just say
quite-
incest?
To me, it's incest. If everybody knows each other and they date each other, it's incest. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yes, you.
Sorry. What?
So,
If they all
let's-
date the
because-
same people? Well, what? It's true.
It's too many humans in the world. I don't think everybody dates the same
No,
people.
but if you have like the same people in your city, and let's say you and your
Mm.
friend, like I hear these stories where like 3 friends dated the same 15 guys. I don't know. So
Well,
to me, that's what
Oh
happened.
wow.
Yeah.
The problem is that we have to face it, right? If those dating websites, and again back to the Islamic part of the dating, let's call it this way, right? If those apps or websites don't really exist, people are doing it already through the social media anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Through TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, It could be one comment, or it could be like, for example, on TikTok, it could be a live broadcast or just a post, and and that's it starts from that point. So unfortunately, it's happening anyway, with the app or without it.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have also rules where you just like where maybe there's somebody like who they have like a system where they ask people questions and then they try to put people together based on the similarities or whatever they're looking for. I don't know, like to be compatible. Maybe it's that kind of thing, and they make it a little bit more,
Regulated.
Mhm.
Not regulated, basically, but it's just systematic or something.
I mean, I don't know. This is actually a very interesting, like how many people really use it and how do they use it? That's really actually interesting to know.
Do you want me to try
seems
it?
like a
And then I
very-
can come back to you.
If you want. Yeah, you can report back. Why not? That would be good. That's your task for the next month.
or you can go on the cover and investigate. Sign up for one and see what happens.
Yeah.
The halal one or the haram one?
Oh my God. Well, let's
Do both and let us know the difference.
I think
see
we
what
can
happens.
tell the difference without even being.
I don't know, dude. I don't think it's much different.
Well, wait,
So
Maria. You don't get away with that. Wait, have you ever used a dating app?
Oh, never. I don't like people. I don't date.
You don't date, right? Yeah.
So, but will you guys sign up for one?
Absolutely not.
Ray?
No, I don't think so. But
Okay.
for the sake of science and experiment, I might do it.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
And then you're gonna like it.
committed.
That's how it always starts.
So committed to the project.
Absolutely, guys. I'm 100% supportive.
Okay, that was my question. Nothing scary.
But now I have a question. I don't know, Ray, maybe you can answer this, right? So before this podcast, I was actually speaking to a friend, and this friend asked me an interesting question about if something is haram, and I couldn't really explain it. I don't know. The question was, is it haram to have, you see how kids play with dolls and they play with like certain these little figurines, like they have soldiers and stuff like that. And that person asked if it's haram to have certain like these little dolls that you can put somewhere, but as like in historical figures who are very important. And as far as I know, we're not supposed to have any type of doll or human looking thing, but I couldn't explain it. Can you? And I know this person is listening, so.
Yeah, well, look, I really appreciate that, you directed this question to me. I felt like I'm the mufti of the podcast.
Of course you are. The Australian
Especially-
Who else is gonna ask me?
Yeah, exactly, Maria.
No,
So clueless.
no, kind of, well, no. What I meant is that like you waited until I am here on the podcast, like you didn't really ask him,
Oh
Ashmi
my
or
God,
something, or
no,
someone else.
the conversation literally happened before the podcast.
Yeah, no. Well, the funny part for me is, we spoke about my fatwas during Ramadan, right? My crazy fatwas that I do. Maybe that would be another for another for another.
Guys, I have
That could
nothing
be
to
another
do with
question
this.
for another podcast. So I just put the things together. I was like, oh, she really believed that I would do these things, those fatwas. But anyway. Okay. Well, look, I think from the scriptures and from the let's say from the references. Okay. Yes, having any sort of a statue or statue looking like, or anything that would embody a human or even an animal, having it at home will take the blessing out of the home, right? But again, if we want to think about it in a different way, that those dolls or those figures, they are not actually being worshipped, because Islam came to demolish the idol worshipping and the paganism, right? So I would say that context, that was the context of the hadith and the scripture of having embodiment of a human figure or an animal figure, right? But when you are getting these things for a kid, for a child, right? The child is not worshiping. The child is actually, it's helping the child basically to pretty much broaden their creativity in terms of creating some scenarios or games, or creating some well, it's a game. I don't know how to describe it more than that. Like in a
it is
way, a game or a scenario. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we need to go extreme in that regard. It is for a child, really, right? The child is learning. At some point, those toys and those figures are going to disappear as the child is growing up and they are learning or progressing with their life. So it is just a stage for them. It is a stage where they are building their personality, they are building their perspective and way of thinking, and being children themselves and having fun. So why do we have to take it? Again, I am not a mufti here, but why do we have to take it to the extreme?
Really? What about adults having, like, let's say they have figures like, I don't know, like anyone in the past who they think was like a very important figure, let's say, I don't know, I can't think of anyone right now. I don't know, Nelson Mandela or anyone, and they have it like in their house, and they don't worship it, but it's just like they just value this person or what they did, so they have like this type of statue there.
Look, yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, I understand that we value some figures. We have some role models that we would follow usually, and we would use them. Use them as our inspiration to be inspired with, right? But honestly, I don't think that because this is the way I'm thinking. Maybe this is I'm just comparing it to from my perspective. I don't think that I would reach to the point where I would have a figure or a statue for a great person from the history and just keep it there as a decoration. Why? Like, why? Honestly,
I don't know if
especially
people have pictures of people. I don't know. Like it's a good question. I wouldn't either.
exactly like the pictures. Yes, we have pictures. We have our smartphones nowadays. We have our computers, right? I don't think hanging a picture of someone on the wall is not really applicable nowadays. I don't think that so many people are doing it because we can have the picture all the time in our phone or something. So in this case, that picture is going to be something similar to having the pictures of my children with me, right? So what's the difference in this case? I don't think we have any problem. I don't think that it's worth asking the question about. Right. But again, we're talking about like a statue itself. Like, why do I have a statue of that person at home? Like, I don't know, Maria, maybe would you like to have some
No, I'm looking around to see
piece of furniture that is not.
anyone.
Wait, but maybe somebody is, let's say, like, I don't know, a fan of like let's say a football, like a soccer player, a football player,
I was
basketball
thinking
player.
I have a Batman figure. Should I get rid of it?
Why do you have one?
Because Batman is
Yeah. Cool. Oh, okay.
About
and
why?
Iron Man too.
Yeah.
I have Batman and I have
I
Iron Man. Because I went to Comic-Con and they were for sales. And they're beautiful.
And you bought this?
Yeah, they were not for free.
Okay. Well,
like the answer. But look, honestly, I don't think we should take it to the extreme side, right? Okay, just like in Maria's case, for example, like they admire this figure and they just have it there. But
They're just beautiful.
why do we have? Yeah, well, look, some people would think that it fits their furniture and they put it there, right?
like that.
Yeah, like for example, I'm not going to talk about like a figure that I like, but like when I was back in the day before coming to Australia, I was someone brought me a gift, right? And it's an elephant. It's a a nice decoration.
I love
elephant, right? It's a piece of decoration, yeah. And I put it there. I put it at home there, right? It looks, because it suits my furniture. It looks good, Why do I have to?
Breaking news: Ray worshipping elephants.
Oh,
don't. We love. I love elephants too. I love elephants. They're so wise and so smart. Shout out.
The thing is, I had a visitor on that day. And that visitor is is from specific category. From it's not a sect, but he's like a specific ideology in Islam. Okay. And he visited me at home, and when he saw the elephant, he was smiling when he walked in, but when he saw the elephant, he just went grim. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? He said, this thing here would take the angels out of your house. And I was like, thank you very much. That's just a piece of furniture. Let's keep talking about, what you came to talk about.
Do you still have it? The elephant?
Rude.
No, I don't have it because Well, I was moving to Australia, like moving to another planet. What are you expecting me? I wanted to move light.
They have real elephants.
The elephant needed to go with you.
I wanted to bring the angels with me here. So
okay, I was gonna say elephants are loyal, but angels are more loyal. What can I do? I can't fight you.
So now you know what to give him for his birthday.
An elephant?
The missing elephant.
The missing one. Oh my god. It's like finding Nemo now. I couldn't find the elephant.
Okay, can we move on to the news now?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's your story. Go for it.
My favorite news of 2024. My friend Omaya Johnson. Is that right?
Onija Robinson. She's your best friend. You don't even know her name, bro.
Onija.
Onija.
Everyone's asking, where have you been? Well, come on the sidewalk.
Well, I'm glad to be back in New York. I'm glad about that. I'm happy about that, to be back in New York. And that's all I have to say for right now. Follow my coins, follow everything.
Wait, Anija, we got to ask you.
Yes.
So, we got to debunk some of these rumors if that's okay with you, right?
Yes, that's okay.
So we want to know, did you end up going to jail, or was that not a thing? Like, because everyone's saying she went to jail, she's stuck in jail.
Well,
what happened?
Listen, I didn't go to jail. I was just stuck in Dubai. It was a situation that happened in Dubai that I couldn't get over at the time, and that was it.
How long were you there for?
I was there for a month.
Yep.
Actually, I have a question for you, Ray, because she showed up. She's back in New York. Sorry, Ray. That's what happened when you missed like in half a year of episodes. So this woman was in Dubai. So in Pakistan, he went to look for a husband. The husband said, "No way, Jose." And then she was traveling to New York, but they stopped in Dubai, presumably because she was arrested, and she disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's back in New York. And let me tell you, if you look at the video, she looks great, in my opinion. Physically, she looks great. Mentally, to me, she sounds great. So I'm happy that she's back in New York. But Ray, I think, if I remember correctly, you did live in Dubai?
Yeah, for 16 years.
What are the rules, again, like with foreigners, disrespecting or training civilians or law enforcement?
So yeah, they've got strict rules there, but those strict rules, to be honest with you, I appreciate. Those strict rules are related to the general image of the country, right? The strict rules, it's not about foreigners or residents. It's about anyone who's on that land, right? If you are having a loud argument or a fight, let's call it this way, right? Both sides are going to be arrested and interrogated, and sometimes they can go to prison because of that. So that's why I would say, and I'm not really making a commercial here, but honestly speaking, it is one of the safest places that I've lived in, right? So I read the story of Onija. And I read that she was doing some, let's say, unusual stuff there, and I don't know if I can call it threatening someone and
Yes.
using her
Yes.
cigarette as a weapon. So in general, either her or anyone who is walking in the street there, or even on that land anyway, if they would do such thing, they would face consequences. Okay, it could be down to, look, even if someone is swearing, use the swearing words, the standard swearing words in English, especially the ones that we use in Australia here, right? If someone would report me using those words, I might be arrested, and I would get a warning or something, or maybe just go to court. Like I have to attend a court session and pay some fine, right? So this is not unusual. So when they say she disappeared, now she disappeared there, but then later on she was seen on the streets, and she was doing whatever she was doing in a non-respectful or disrespectful way to someone. Okay.
Yeah, but she disappeared after.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So she disappeared, which means yes, she would be someone. Of course, whoever that someone is, saw her, reported her, and she was arrested, then she would be, I'm saying this is the scenario, this is how it works. I'm not saying that this is what happened to her, right? But yes, she would be arrested, she would be interrogated, she would be bailed on the same day. Like basically all you need to do there, if you have your passport, you just bail yourself out with your passport, or someone else would bail you out with their passport just until the trial date, right? And then the trial date will be set, go to court, attend the trial, it's going to be a couple of hours, pay the fine and leave. So this is the scenario that I would think happened to her. So I don't know, like when I read she disappeared in Dubai. Right, what do you mean? Was she like kidnapped? Things don't work this way.
We couldn't find her, right? We couldn't find Omaya.
Well, I know that you were worried about her because I see how you attached you are to her from the previous episode.
This girl is not stable. To me, she is still not stable. Somebody who still thinks that she is married to a 18-year-old guy who she was never married to in the first place, in a whole different continent, and she's still sticking to it. And she thinks she's gonna go back, and this guy literally left his whole family. They fled their home. I think what's going to happen next, she kind of like hinted on that. I don't know if you got that from the video, Maria, but she seems to be working on some reality show or something like that. They will definitely capitalize. That's the one thing that the US is good at. They just see a crazy person or a crazy story and they write a book, they go to all shows, they get a movie, they get a TV show, they do whatever just to make money off of it. That's what they're doing with her.
Could it be that? Well, could it be that she's doing this for like she's like, instead of thinking that she has issues, maybe she's extra creative, and she did all of this to get some fame and to move forward. Because like you said, she looks great now in the recent video. Like she doesn't look like the same person who we saw in
She
Pakistan.
had a whole glam squad with her. She did say that. That's why I say they're definitely working on something. They're definitely elevating her image. And the reason why I say she is not stable is because her son came out and said that she has bipolar.
I see. Yeah.
So I don't know how true that is. Obviously, people can. I don't know if my mom was that embarrassing. Maybe I would claim that she had bipolar too. I don't know. Shout out to my mom.
Well, look, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if. Wait, what?
No, she just said shout out to my mom.
Salam alaikum, Nesma.
She's not watching.
Go ahead.
When she watches, she can respond in the comments, please.
She would never watch. She would see videos, but not watch. Then she would complain about me. Okay.
Look what you had done to you. What you made your friend do.
Huh?
That's what she would. She would say like, look what you made your poor friend do.
No, she wouldn't. She would complain about me and then she would move on.
Okay, next news. Ness, go ahead.
Elon. He's speaking of bipolar and mentally not stable. So the data breach, is very important. I think. What is with these people with their data breach? First, this dating app that you said, and now Elon. They said that about 400 gigabytes of data was breached, uploaded to breach forums. So like everybody's personal stuff from X. And they're trying to prove or see if this conspiracy is actually true, that most of the accounts by now on X are bots. And if that's the case, because he sold X to himself, to his own company, XAI, he sold it for 45 billion, 33 is his own capital and assets, and 12 he, I don't know, took out a loan or got it from somebody, so that way he can keep his money and kind of like compensate for the dropping Tesla stocks.
Could there be a nationwide class action lawsuit to follow up on last week's victories against Musk, against the Trump administration for this breach in computer security and the data of all American taxpayers? It could be a class action suit on behalf of all Americans. If the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers want to opt out and they don't want their part of the money.
So
I find it funny that everybody is trying to shut down TikTok because our data is implicated, and this guy keep loosening our information every week. So to everybody listen, there is no about safety. They want to shut down TikTok because they don't want us to know the truth. They don't care about our data safety, obviously.
No, they don't. But the thing is also that the problem that he's facing, if they can prove that most of these accounts are bots, then he might face legal charges because XAI is his company, but he has investors, and it could become an investor lawsuit because this is not what they signed up for. Rightfully so, but him, probably who he is going to be able to beat that as well. So my question is more though, Yeah, I lost my question.
The question is, do we have accounts in there? No, we don't.
Oh
What
yeah.
will you say?
No, my question is okay, I have my question back. My question is why. I know it sounds crazy what I'm going to say, because obviously they are talking about IP addresses, because only if they have the IP addresses and it's 400 gigs of data, that's when they can prove if it's bots or not. I don't know what people be sending people online and sharing and hiding, but shouldn't be all very clear on one thing, like whatever you put online, even in DMs or whatever, is actually not private. So is it not our own responsibility to make sure that we don't share like sensitive stuff on these apps?
Obviously, it's an individual responsibility, but also the platform is responsible for the data. It's a contract when you do the terms and conditions, where they say that your personal information is protected. You have to take the extra step to make sure that you are protecting yourself, but they have an obligation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do have the obligation, but how are they held accountable to that obligation, especially when they are those big corporates who are running the show, who are running pretty much the whole world, honestly. Okay. But on the other hand, just a heads up, or let's say food for thought. It's not only about those apps that could get your IP address or even further data from your computer or MAC number or MAC address of your machine that you are using. It's even some, the software nowadays. I'm talking about professional software.
Mm-hmm.
Through my work, okay, I know that the software that I'm using and I'm paying a fortune for, it's not only one software, by the way. The licensing itself it used to be something, they call it a dongle. It's hard key. That is something that you would plug in your computer and it will activate the license. But nowadays it's all becoming online it's a soft key. Right? And that soft key is connecting to a server, and that's the server of the company. And, your address, your IP address, and your physical address, and your MAC address, it's all there. Right? Yeah. So in this case, all the apps that we are using, they will have access to these, as long as, those apps are connected somehow and they're licensed through an online platform or through the online roads anyway. So the breach of data and getting into our IP address, it's happening to us every second as we talk. That's how I see it, and I'm talking from experience because I at some point I was using a product or a software. And I was using it for testing only before I buy it. So I was using it purely for testing, and it was the free version, which is the educational version, right? And I generated some output out of that software, right? And I sent it to one of the clients as an example to a product that how the end product is going, or it's going to look like. And after 2 weeks, I got a message from the legal department of that company who produces that software telling me that I am using the software illegally for business purposes. But on that message, on that email, it showed my physical address, it showed my the machine's the IP number, the machine's MAC address, everything was there.
But how did they know?
It's a professional tool. Well, honestly, I went online at that day and I put on some platforms, right? Some platforms who would be really talking about this subject. And I didn't really get any response, any clear response. But one of the responses was from someone. He said, "Hey, look, I work in that company and I'm not allowed to say how it works, but be careful because you are being all your data would be there. That's as much as I can say. And I was like, well, yeah, it's clear because I can see it in the email that was sent to me. And another incident where some, sorry?
I get that part, but I don't get how they knew that you send it to someone else as a proposal or as like an example of a proposal.
I really have no idea. Because basically, when they want to open that product that I've sent, they have to open it through a viewer. The only thing I would say is that viewer also is connected somehow to, and it will show the background data, where that product or where that design was generated and how it was generated, right? But I had this situation twice. Once when I used the free license or the free version, and the other one was someone else used actually, an illegal version, and that's even the scarier part, right? Because that someone, at some point, we, like 4 years ago, me and that someone, we worked on a project, okay? And he, in fact, basically he was just using, he was, I wasn't really working on that project. He was just using my business name. Okay, because he needed a business name, and I was just like a small portion partner. Okay, so apparently he was using an unlicensed product, an unlicensed software. Wow. Then that person moved from one country to another. Let's say he moved from the Middle East to Europe, and then from Europe to Australia. Over those 4 years, he did so many moves. Okay, and he had been using this product again, the unlicensed product. He was using it again. Okay, but I had nothing to do with it except the emails that I had between me and him 4 years ago. And I got a warning email from the company who produces that product and telling me that I'm in breach and there will be legal action. And I was like, can you guys tell me? I've never used this product myself. I don't even know how it looks like. Can you tell me? I've sent an email responding. Can you tell me? Because they, again, in the email, it has my address, everything about me. Okay. Wow. And when they told me that this is the person, I contacted that person, and that person actually, he said, I was about to contact you in like 10 minutes because I got this email, and that email was sent to all the email addresses of all companies I worked for over the last 4 years, giving the same warning, and sent to his daughter. His daughter is 10 years old. His daughter's email address, the email address that she uses for. Yes, exactly. That's how bad it is.
Wow,
that's scary. So the concerns about X or Twitter or TikTok and trying to like Maria said, they're trying to shut it down because they want to shut us up. That's the only reason.
That is that, yeah. But X is so, like, when he took over, it's not even the same anymore. I used to actually, I don't know, like, in my opinion, there's way too many social media platforms. I don't know how many platforms you are on. I cannot sit there all day and just like be on.
I only have one.
Mm-hmm. One.
I have.
Just one.
No, you're lying.
Which one?
Instagram, Facebook. Do I really have to?
I don't have Facebook.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, I only have TikTok. I don't use the other ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
TikTok is all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, move on. Next point.
So you're
saying...
Yeah, no. I have three. I'm on the Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, of course. Mm-hmm. But the most active one is TikTok. This is how I put it. The most active one, especially with what's happening nowadays in Palestine and Gaza, and it's the most interactive one. That's the reason. So I got the others, but honestly speaking, I haven't looked at my Facebook in like, I don't know, a couple of weeks or maybe a month now.
Facebook is Mark. What is the name of this guy? Mark
Zuckerberg.
That's a Zionist. If you post anything else, right there, you are in danger.
But everybody is, I mean, but I'm just going to say this, right? There is some other apps, and I'm not going to say no names because apps are coming out every day. They even made a new TikTok. Some video that was some girl, she said she and whoever, they developed a whole new TikTok in case this TikTok is going, so it's going to be there. And I don't know, like there's so many apps. There's a couple of apps, and they're unfortunately very, very underrated. And there's actually a whole movement as well, especially when it comes to Gaza and Palestine. But I'm not going to mention them because I don't want everybody to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep them clean.
Yeah, it's the popularity of the app at the end of the day. It's the popularity and how popular, the amount of people that you would reach to. The features of the app and the interface of it itself is one thing, but it's also the popularity, the widespread of the app. But that's it. But that's why I say, like, there are some apps, like, for example, there was an app and I used to have hear a lot of negative stuff about it. Then I was on it because I didn't know what to do. I was in the hospital and I was bored of YouTube, TikTok, Netflix, everything was boring. So I decided to download the app. And I was like, oh my God, this has a whole different side to it. And I really, really liked it. And it was really, really great until everybody came.
People ruining everything.
Yeah. Like, it's enough. We had a bunch of people on there, like a lot of people. And every time somebody would find the app, it was great people. We were there for a reason. But when everybody came, oh God. Yeah. So, but we're still going to continue with what's his name? This guy. Whatever his name. Yeah.
Musk.
Yeah. So he's leaving Doge. And one thing I really hate, and I hate it about TikTok too. When people report on stuff or talk on stuff, and there's so much that they add to it just to dramatize what's happening. Oh, like, it's already bad enough. We don't need to add to it and lie. This whole thing of like, oh, Elon Musk is leaving Doge because he's a liability. Yeah, he has been a liability. We know that. But he paid a lot of money towards the campaign of Trump when he was running. It was 120 million. And he is, so his position in Doge, basically they call it like a government special employee. And this position only lasts 130 days. So end of May.
That position translate as an unofficial president, bro, because he's the one calling the shot right now.
I don't think that he is calling the shots. I think the people calling the shots he might be in that circle, but he's not just the one. There's a bunch of other people. And his 130 days are almost up. He might be staying as a advisor. I don't know who he's advising, but he's staying as an advisor. So 120 million he paid for like 4 months to be part of the government. Is it worth it?
He's having a blast. So you see, bring the kids and everything. His kiddo.
No, that was all programmed.
Oh, I don't care. It looks amazing though.
You know how many?
He said all the things that we wanted to say. And now he have a dealership outside the White House. I guess it's worth it.
You know how many people you can feed with 120 million?
He's not using for that, obviously.
Not at all.
Yeah. So forget Elon. He's a racist. Anyway. Okay. The next thing is also, a little bit crazy. So, Maria, this is your people. Talk about your people. Defend your people.
My people, no, you talk about it.
This is your people. He's Latino. Kilma Albrego Garcia.
Oh, the one, the citizen that was deported to El Salvador?
Yeah.
This is that's why now when I go outside, I go with my passport, like I'm going to the airport, because you never know.
Imagine being sent to a notorious prison in El Salvador because of an admin error. That's what happened to Kilmar Armado Abrego Garcia, who was removed from the US after being identified as a gang member, which he denies. This is despite the fact that he had legal protected status after fleeing El Salvador at 16 to escape from gangs. But now this mistaken deportation risks serving him up to those same people. Despite admitting to an oversight, the Trump administration said they were powerless to bring him back to Maryland, as US courts do not have jurisdiction over El Salvador.
But this guy was a citizen here. He was valid. He was valid. He was certified. And
well, you don't think I'm valid?
I don't know. I mean, I can't say, to be honest. No.
But yeah, that is scary time that we're living right now. We saw it last week when they basically kidnapped a student off the street. And now they make a mistake. So they call it. They send this poor man to another country, and now they cannot even get him back.
Well, he was accused to be part of this M13. I don't know why these gangs like M23, MS13. What is all of this M's about? So he's alleged to be a gang member. It was proven that he was not. He was in 2019. He was supposed to be staying here because the gang was after him.
Wasn't he from Venezuela?
He's from El Salvador, I think, because they said he needed to flee from there because otherwise the gang was after him. That's why the court in 2019 decided for him that he can stay. He has a disabled child. He has 2 kids. One of them is disabled. He was sent to El Salvador. And this is very sad, Maria. I know how much I like and how much you love this El Salvadorian president who is Palestinian. But I'm very sorry to tell you that America is paying El Salvador $6 billion yearly to host these people that they're sent to the prison. So I guess he ain't that cool after all.
There must be an explanation, Ness.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, defend your guy. What's his excuse?
Bukele cannot be one of many disappointments. There must be an explanation behind all this. Maybe he's like trying to set Trump up and gather information to show how criminal he is. I don't know.
Netflix, if you're watching, please pick up Maria. She's a good scriptwriter, I guess.
We're gonna see what happens.
What do you mean? This has been happening. They've been paying for this.
When? What's the last year?
Every year they pay in $6 billion.
When?
I don't know since when, but it's been going on.
We need to. But that's what I said. We need to investigate since when.
Okay, Maria,
when that happened, and he must have something in plan. This cannot be.
No, can we just accept and can we admit and can we actually be honest about it that everybody has a price?
Well, doesn't that circle back into the famous politics game? You know, to me, I'm at that point. Like, I'm not at that point. I was always the conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. Like, no one makes it to the office unless that person is allowed to be there, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I started from of course the Arabic. The Arabic countries, that are surrounding Palestine, and we just keep moving into the bigger circle. Okay, so to me, of course, Maria, sorry, that the El Salvadorian president and his Palestinian origin, and we like him, and we are huge fans. But again, he made it to the office, and to me, that's questionable. Always. I'm not saying that it's confirmed, but to me, I would always question that whoever makes it to the office in their country. That's in summary. That's how I put it together.
We don't have the whole information.
I don't know if that's going to get into trouble later on, but
she's still defending him.
I'm not defending anything. I just pointed out that we don't have the whole information, and we cannot jump into conclusion.
If somebody pays you money to do something, what more information do you need?
Let's see what happened. Must be something behind it. We need to review the data first. And then when we have the whole story, we can report back the conclusion.
I will say this. So she's willing to defend this guy by all means necessary. But when I told her to talk about her people, Kibar Albergo, or whatever his name is, Garcia, she was not really so excited about it.
We need to see what's behind this. No. I mean, the fact that he was deported is outrageous. It's that violates every single human rights article out there. So that is unacceptable.
Well, first of all, the error that you are referring to was a clerical error. It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang. That is fact number one. Fact number two, we also have credible intelligence proving that this individual was involved in human trafficking. And fact number three, this individual was a member, actually a leader of the brutal MS-13 gang, which this president has done.
Now, the situation on the Bukele side, we need more investigation.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I give up on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fair enough. She's giving the benefit of the doubt. I think. Look, honestly speaking, Maria. Okay, this time I'm going to advocate on Maria's behalf. Okay, take a break, Maria.
Thank you. Watch.
Because
okay, let's get it.
Well. No, it's basically what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to talk about myself because, if Maria is now, because I know how Maria usually, she would, build her judgments usually, right? I'm going to put it this way. And yes, she does give the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but I'm the king of giving the benefit of the doubt, like I would always go for giving a person or a situation, the 70 excuses. So until those 70 excuses are all refuted and gone, right? Then I would make my conclusion. So basically, Maria didn't really give 70 excuses. She's giving one now. So, she's on the right track.
It's like I'm not well informed on the subject.
No, I will say this. First of all, Maria gives too many people benefit of the doubt. Everybody is nice and perfect. That's number one. Number two, if I give you $6 billion and I tell you, okay, I'm gonna give you every year $6 billion, and therefore you're gonna go in each and every shop, in a computer shop in Australia, and you're going to break all computers, and you do it and you get money because this is the deal we make. What is there to defend? How are you advocating? Where is the 70? Why do we need 70 excuses? It's a deal that is laid out. It's public information.
Just a second. Did you say how much the amount that you are going to pay me?
I said 6 billion.
6 billion. Well, I have 6 billion excuses for myself then.
Not only that, but you don't even know when
these guys don't want to be honest.
Who signed it up? Like, there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things. Okay, how about you go read? Because this is definitely...
That's what I say.
This is a public information. You knew we were... No, you didn't know I was going to bring this top part up.
You didn't know? Yes, that this was a trap.
Yeah.
This was sabotage.
It was definitely a trap. No, it wasn't. But no,
it was a trap.
No, I just thought about it yesterday because it really upsets me. Like sometimes
we talked yesterday.
Yeah, Allah, we didn't say that in the news yesterday. Okay.
Oh. No, we didn't.
That's how much you listen. That's why. My blackmail is going to increase. My blackmail will increase. My blackmail will increase.
Well, the point is that we don't have the whole information. You don't have the whole information either. So when we got it all together.
What do you mean? What more information do I need? Some guy gets paid when the money started, people in prison, and it's very clear that these people go there to be in prison, and he gets paid $6 billion. That is the story.
Okay,
guys. All right. Like I'm gonna I'm just stepping in here. First of all, I really am enjoying this reunion that I'm having with you here because, and I really love it how you are really arguing here during the episode.
People love when we debate. People love it.
Well, I've seen you numerous times, and that's why I'm enjoying it even more. You know what? I'm going to be here every. Sorry, I'm not going to say it because the comments would be.
Say it.
I'll be held accountable.
Say it. What did you want to say?
Well, I was going to say that I'd love to be here in every episode with you guys.
I almost believe
because watching it.
Did you hear what she said?
Watching it. Going live is better than watching it on the recording later on.
Did you hear what she said though? I swear she gave you the oral side eye. She said, almost believed it. Like Maria, you should have done the side eye. That would have been.
Do you want to bet on that, Maria?
See to believe.
Would you guys like me to be here? Aside from the comments that we keep receiving and responding to, would you guys like me to be here in every episode?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother for Australia, mashallah.
Let's do it. Mashallah. Let's do it then.
Ness?
Listen, I'm very open. I don't care who comes here as long as it's not certain. You have my list of people that I don't want here.
I have a list.
Yeah, there's only 3 people so far on there.
Next point.
That's a long list.
Okay, so next point. I really don't want to talk about this, but Maria, you wanted it here. This actually, yes, I did want to talk about this woman, but I did a little bit of research. But okay, so October 8th.
We were all students starting our 4th year. We all liked going to parties, and the second the Nova tickets came out, they were really cheap. It seemed like a perfect thing to do right before the year started. The most rockets I've ever seen in my life.
The documentary, the propaganda from the former COO, not CEO, how many people think, Sheryl Sandberg. She is absolutely amazing. You see, some people really miss their career path. Like they really take on the wrong careers. She's a great actress. Like you guys saw that video, right? Where she was talking about, would you help me if they were after me?
Will you hide me?
Hide me. Yeah, that's it. Not help me, hide me. Oh my God. How cringe is this?
Did you hear about this documentary, Ray?
No, people in Australia
I
don't
heard
know
about it. Yeah. Well, look, one of the comments on your previous episode, guys, was what was it saying? I don't remember the person, but I remember that someone was asking like, "Do you guys have internet in Australia?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." I heard about it before.
What did they say? You have internet?
Is that a good answer? Yeah, it's like you guys have internet in Australia, which means like move it. Come on, we need to see you. The next episode, like we need to see you in this podcast. So I was like, I know what internet is. Exactly, that was my answer. I know what internet is. We've heard about it here, right? But you're too busy with the kangaroos anyway. What was the question again? The question is, did I see the documentary? Honestly, I haven't seen it. I read
Nobody
about
wants
it.
to see it.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yes, I did hear about it. Yes, and it is, to me, it is another another manipulation attempt to just to play the victim as always, and to basically draw the public attention into the wrong direction. That's how it. When I read the description about it, I was like, okay, yeah, well, that's how it sounds like it. I don't know if you guys have got any more information or like more to add about it.
I think that part was very cringe, and we don't need to know more about it because it is so bad that I feel like I don't know when these people actually like they miss it's a very thin line between cringe and seriously sick. And every time they just manage to pass cringe, they start cringe and then get sick. This is absolutely insane. But I found this woman very interesting because there is not much information about her out there in the sense of how she is actually manipulating and using her influence. But one story I was able to find. And it's the whole drama story that too many people have and want to disappear. And she may disappear a lot of her stories because she was accused of I don't know how to say that, something from an employee at some point, a female employee. And yeah, okay. But the story that I found interesting, so she pressured the Daily Mail, which is a whole media outlet. She pressured, as a single person, she pressured this whole Daily Mail business to drop a story that they wanted to release about her, at that time, boyfriend, Bobby. What's his name? Hold on. Bobby Kotick. Yeah, that's his name. So he, there was a restraining order filed against him from his ex-girlfriend, and she wanted that story dropped. And now he is her ex-boyfriend as well. And I was just wondering if she's actually regretting using her influence for this person, because a lot of people do stuff for people and then is actually not even lasting. And
did she have a restraining order against that guy?
No, his ex-girlfriend had a restraining order against him while he was with Sheryl Sandberg. And then she pressured Daily Mail to drop the story because they wanted to put that story out, but she didn't want her image, her so clean image, ruined. So she pressured them to drop the story. And now she is not with this guy anymore. So she is busy with this whole, she worked as a COO at Meta from 2008 to 2022. And then she left because she wants to focus on philanthropy and her foundation. And the result of it is October 8th. Great.
You know, people get creative sometimes as to how to keep their names and their reputations on the headlines. Honestly, I sometimes I think to myself, like, you know, I have to do something. I have to do something. Maybe I have to do something to, you know, get myself some, you know, in that position. I don't like to be, but sometimes I feel like, wow, how creative the people are. No. It's I don't want to be in like on the headlines, but I'm thinking like how creative those people are to just keep themselves up there, the headlines. You know, you keep hearing about them.
But can I just say, like, I feel like as who we are with our culture and everything we have like sometimes going on, we actually have even better stories. It's just that we don't put them out there.
Like what?
Are you referring to something here, Nez?
No, not at all. Not at all. Oh my God, why? You guys. No. Listen, you know, like if let's say, right, some of our, let's say, TV series, like our dramas would be picked up by Hollywood and would be like, you know, glossed up a little bit and produced better. They would actually make very, very good TV. And you know it. We are just not these kind of people who put like too much dirty business out there, while these other people in the headlines do, when you look at all the celebrities and everything.
Yeah, that is true. Exactly. And look, honestly, if you want to sell some if you want to sell some TV series or something, the best way to do it is to start it with that sentence, like, this is based on a true story, you know, or a real story. You know,
that's very true.
To immediately get traction. Yeah,
it is very
everyone
true.
would yeah. So it's a way to attract the curiosity of the people.
But for the countries that are adding fluoride to their water supply, like the United States, there are more and more studies coming out, just like this one, finding that fluoride has a negative impact on cognitive development, specifically a drop in IQ. Not a subtle finding, they say. More than 50 studies show this consistent association. Not ideal, I would say. So why does Dr. Zachary Rubin, who I have nothing against, and I'm sure he's a good doctor, why is he claiming that not fluoridating the water supply is concerning? Well, it turns out from time to time, Dr. Zachary Rubin is called upon to, let's say, shill for corporate science.
Okay, so Utah is the first state to ban fluoride in the water, and fluoride was added in the drinking water in 1945, conveniently after the Second World War. A lot of countries don't have it in their drinking water. The U.S. does. It was in Michigan. Well, there was a city in Michigan. That was the first city where it started. So in the UK, only 10% of the population receive fluoridated water, I think they call it. And this is apparently supposed to help with dental health. This is such bullshit. So in Germany and in other European countries like Switzerland and some other countries, they have it in table salt. And this is actually, not very good because it is poisonous. And it is actually very interesting because we have 50 studies that prove that it affects your IQ. It makes the IQ drop a lot, and your cognitive, declines. So it's actually something that a lot of people don't know, and I don't understand why a lot of people don't know about the contaminated food and the contaminated water and the contaminated air that they make us consume. And there is a lot of companies who make a lot of money with this fluoride because it is hazardous waste that it comes from. So you have, for example, companies, they make millions yearly by selling equipment to monitor the how much fluoride is in the water. And you have these people who are selling seriously this waste because they don't know how to dispose of it because it's too expensive to basically throw it away. They sell it to these companies so that they can poison us in the water with this fluoride. And the ADA, for example, the American Dental Association, they support this and they say it is important to have fluoride for dental health. And the reason why they do this because these organizations fund the ADA, for example. So this happens in every country. I cannot talk about every country, obviously. So I just use the US as an example.
So okay, having the fluoride anyway in the toothpaste and in other products, is it good for our teeth or not? That's what I'm trying to figure out now.
That's the same thing that I asked when she brought me the news. I was like, what?
So you guys, what is wrong with you guys? You don't care.
I brush my teeth literally 5 times a day, bro. And I was like, what?
Okay, so you don't care what you consume.
I do care. That's why I'm worried when you say that fluoride causes all those side effects.
Look, I drink water from the tap, right? And I told you about the story from my city where I was born, so I don't want to...
I think I was affected.
Why, Ray? Why? You need to Google SRS after this.
Well, I'm going to do it now.
No, don't do it now. Do it after the episode.
Okay.
We already talked on this episode about SRS. They made fun of me, and then they apologized at some point. Some of them when they realized it's a real thing. So, anyways, it is not good. It makes your IQ drop. It makes your mental health drop. It influences you. Should we talk about?
Are we talking about even? Look, are we talking about it when we brush our teeth as well? Because I don't want to.
Every fluoride.
I wish
Please, people, keep brushing your teeth.
Look, I wish that my kids would not watch this episode, all right? Because especially my little one, because every night before he goes to bed, he would be like, "Dad, do I have to brush my teeth?" It's too late for it. It's a couple of minutes. So watching this episode is going to really go against me.
Do you make your kids watch this?
No.
Okay, I was worried for a second. Please don't. We have 16 plus only, and 16 only if you're very mature. Oh no, we leave it at
absolutely.
18.
But
Let's leave it at 18.
If it just happened by mistake or something, I don't want them to see that part anyway.
Oh, we had that when Z was here. Somebody said they listened with their kids. Remember, Maria?
I remember.
Yeah, I saw the comments.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Shout out to you. I don't know who it was. I forgot the name. Shit, I forgot the name. Yeah, no, it's not good. Obviously, the excuse is, it's the dose of fluoride. But honestly, like if you drink so much water and if it's in table salt, I don't know who uses table salt at this point. People who do, we need to inform yourself about that part as well, because that's another very disgusting story.
Next topic.
Can we put it in the next episode?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Next point.
We're going to talk about South Korea. Oh my gosh. And I don't know how to say this name, but it's Yoon.
It's going to be in the video.
Suk Yeol. That's the president, and he has been removed, impeached, and the court in South Korea unanimously decided that this guy has to go. They ended his presidency. There is another guy put in place. He's going to be taking over soon. I think he's in his onboarding phase because this Yoon Suk Yeol guy decided to implement martial law. I always want to say martial art. In December. I don't know why.
I would keep him.
I know why.
Why? Why?
Nothing.
No, say it.
No.
Oh, better
continue.
Don't say it.
It's getting late.
Say it. Oh, it's getting late. Okay, so No. The reason why she's saying this is because there's two reasons. The one reason I'm not going to expose, because then we're going to get into a whole other conversation. But the real reason is because she's getting nervous because of the camera. So I'm going to extra long.
I thought we're gone past this one already.
No,
we didn't. My goodness, you should have been here last week.
Inside.
On the next episode, next episode we're gonna go past it. I'm sure.
No, I know it's never gonna pass. Okay, continue.
It will pass, inshallah. Yeah. So he implemented
back to the martial arts.
Martial law in December for no good reason. And that's why they impeached him. And I just find it very interesting how South Korea, comes along. They impeached their president like in December and it's April. They impeached him, they removed him, and done. Donald Trump has over 90 charges.
Wow.
And he has, what else does he have? Impeachment and everything going on, but they voted for him.
Open cases.
No.
So Americans.
Rephrase it. They didn't vote for him. He was appointed.
So to all Americans, South Korea is teaching you a lesson on how to impeach a president. Take notes.
Yeah, take notes. Watch and learn.
We have to talk about the protests that took place. We were recording on Sundays, guys. You should know that by now. Actually, that never changed.
Amazing people.
Yeah. How many people?
Proud. Millions.
No, it wasn't actually that many, It was in all 50 states.
All over the country, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was millions, though.
It was a lot of us.
I don't know why the whole world don't agree on this and they do the protests all together and around the world. And because we are in different time zones, so the protest would be like 24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
But
was beautiful, though. Was beautiful. Like, see, especially the young people, the families together against what is going on was like a little restore my faith in humanity, to be honest with you, because sometimes it feels like you are alone in this.
Oh my God. It's very hard for me sometimes to curb my dark humor.
Go ahead, say it.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
I'm waiting for it.
Absolutely not.
Say
So, all
it.
right. So let's talk about something very serious. We want to talk about the ongoing attacks in Gaza. The ceasefire that was not a real ceasefire was broken March 18. And I just want to say, even though they called it a ceasefire, they never stopped killing people. But March 18 come and they started, like, they made up basically for all the slowing down they did over the past 2 months. They killed over 1,163 people, injured over 2,700. And out of these killed people, there is over 320 children. And this is according to the UN Agency Agency for Children. This is not something that we're making up. But the attacks are very, very severe. I know, Maria, it was very important for you to talk about it, so you go ahead.
Bro, I can't say it's gonna, my voice is gonna break. But in one of the videos, the one that broke me the most was they throw a bomb so strong, so heavy that you can see people flying, and these people were children. And you have, I mean, we all see it. It's everywhere. I'm sorry. I just remember, and the disregard for human life is no excuses for this. There is no reason for this. These attacks are unnecessary, inhumane, and brutal. You know what I mean? So yeah, to me, it was very important to put these videos and this podcast so you all can see it. Trigger warning, they're awful, but you need to see it because this is unprecedented. Like, you can literally see human body flying for the explosion, and you had these monsters out there denying this. Like, someone say, "Oh, they're birds." No, you can see the bodies. You can see a kid, you can see a man flying to the sky. So, and I can't believe it's 2025 and no one's doing this, nothing about this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Your feelings are valid, and every word you said, and your tears are valid. You know what really bothers me is that also when October 7th happened, and you see all of these people were just crying and talking about 40 beheaded babies and all of this nonsense, okay, and make it sound, regardless to any of those, like everything was refuted on all those allegations. But 3 days ago, there is this other attack on a school that was sheltering displaced people, the Dar al-Arqam school. And there are so many people, and including children, were killed. I saw a picture of a man holding a little body without a head and saying that this is his daughter and that's what's left of her. But she didn't have a head. Of course, the head was blown away. And and it's just one picture out of so many. And this is, this didn't really move. This is not criminal act. This is not criminal act. This is not, isn't it considered terrorist and criminal act? Does it feel better because the person who did this, who beheaded those 1,000 children, does it feel better for that person? Is that person more humane because he wasn't really looking? He didn't really grab by with his own hands and did it? Like, again, the 40 beheaded babies on October 7th, this is all refuted by the Israeli sources. So we don't have to talk about it, right? But the tens of thousands of children and, grown-ups and adults. We're talking about men, women. Why do we have to highlight women and children only? Men,
100%.
women, and children, all ages, okay? Humans, souls were lost. Lives were taken away. People got, bodies got crushed under the rubble. And they're still there for 18 months that couldn't be taken out, okay? Those, I'm sure that, none of those, not a single body of those people remain as it is when they got killed, let alone that they were killed, but they're also deformed. They're using we heard it yesterday, they're using some explosives that would decompose the body as soon as it explodes. You wouldn't really see the body, right?
They're testing
And
new weapons.
someone would come. Exactly. And somebody would come and say, "Oh, they are beheading." Seriously? So that whoever is flying that fighter jet, or whoever is launching that missile, so that makes them more humane, just because they don't see. Oh yeah, okay, I beheaded everyone of all ages, all sizes, and all, I don't know, age groups. But yeah, I wasn't really looking. So yeah, I'm more humane. Are you serious? We're still, trying to advocate and trying to argue that, occupied people and people who are under blockade for how many years, for how many decades, trying to liberate themselves. They're trying to ask for their rights. It is their rights, okay? They were born, so as humans, we're supposed to be born free. But these people were born into occupation, they're born into oppression, and somebody is still debating and disputing their right of resistance. They have every right to resist with any means.
No, the argument that they use is like, Hamas is using human shields. Like, even if they do, you're supposed to work. If you are the civil one, if you are the democracy in the Middle East, if you are this amazing thing that these people think they are, use the workaround. Even if you do use babies as human shield, it's your responsibility to protect that baby. Like it's like Ray do something to me, and he use a baby. I'm not gonna punch him through the baby. I'm gonna make sure that they get him, not an innocent person. So the human shield debate or excuse is invalid, because you, as a civilized a government or organization, you should put priority in life. You should respect life regardless who they are. Is this the opposite side, or whatever you want to call it, terrorists are using the human shield? Is your responsibility to protect those shields. So that is not an excuse either.
All right, can I ask you a personal question? Maybe you can share with the people, we can cut it out if you don't want. Maybe you can share with the people how it is for you. You are originally from Gaza, but you were never able to go. And the only way that you know Gaza is through what we see and been seeing, and not only since 2023, but before that. Does it affect you in a sense to know that you cannot even go to where you were born like everybody else can in the world, or most people could if they wanted to or had the means to?
100%. It affects me big time. Yes, I am originally from there, and I wasn't born there. I've never been there. My father was born there. Until his last day, let's call it this way, until his last day, even though he couldn't really talk at that day, but until his last day, he was hoping that he would be back. He was looking forward. And I know that because we're always talking about it. And, we grew up being told that, whatever that you do now, let's say in terms of, any kind of education experiences, qualifications, anything, any experience you go through in your life now, you have to, improve it, and you have to hold on to it and keep it there, because eventually you're ending up back to your country, to your land, and you are going to use that experience and those qualifications and any experience that you've gone through, you're going to use it to help, support, and rebuild your country. So, we were raised like this. And I'm in my mid-40s, and I still want to use that experience. I still want to utilize, I still want to help, I still want to support. And every time, before this brutal war, before this mass destruction that is happening there.
It is not a war.
I was looking, no, the war that they declared, the war
It's
that
a
Israel declared on
genocide.
the people. It's the genocide, 100%. Yes, thanks for correcting me. Okay, before that, we were just thinking always that I want to be there. I want to make it better. I want to be one of the people who, would improve that place, who would, get the people there to benefit from any experience that I bring. Okay. But now, after what is happening and the genocide, it breaks my heart even more. I want to help more. I want to utilize whatever I knew and I learned in this life to be there, to help everyone there. Okay. But I'm honestly, look, we had houses there, we had properties there. I don't know if they are still there. This is the thing. I have relatives, and I haven't really been in touch with relatives, like direct relatives. And I haven't been in touch. I couldn't really reach to for the last 3 months. And since March the 18th, I've texted them, and they haven't responded yet. So you can imagine what's going on inside of me, right? So look, I don't know if that answers
Sorry
your
that
question.
I brought this up.
Try my best. No, that's all right. That's all right. That's people need to know. People need to know directly.
That's what I thought.
We have to keep reminding them. Yes.
But what's also important when we talk about this, we need to mention the medical staff, and that was something that was very hard for me to swallow. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the most moving videos for me anyway. This guy was literally apologizing to his mom for being unalived.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, seen that video as well.
They was apologizing. Who does that? My question is though, is it okay? So what do you guys think? Is this because this whole excuse of like killing all of these medical workers, right? And the way that they did it was definitely very systematic by trapping them and luring them to come. A couple of groups were dispatched after the first ambulance wasn't really responding. So when they killed them and threw them in this mass graves with their hands behind their back and whatnot, they forgot conveniently to remove a phone from someone, and then the footage got leaked to the media, to Sky News, out of all medias and Times of Israel. So are these people too dumb to lie, or are they lying and saying, look, we're exposing ourselves and we're getting away with it and you can do nothing? Which one is it?
I'll take the second option, which is, yeah, we're exposing ourselves. We're doing it because we can.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that you've been around those discussions that happen online and debates that happen online, right? And when you say anything, and when you bring up something about human rights or United Nations or whatever it is, or international law, you would hear that word. The hell with it. We don't care. You would hear it. You would hear that sentence all the time. They don't care. And they can, they're doing it because they can. They're enjoying it.
100%. Yeah. Maria?
Yes.
But do you have anything to add to this?
I have a diploma. So yes, the medical staff, the journalists, the professor, the teachers are being targeted on a daily basis because they are the ones that shape the future of the people in Gaza. And for everybody listening and watching, you know how to take our words. Please do your research. Google Gaza and see the destruction that is taking place. And by the way, the hostages are still in there, and they're still bombarding them. They're bombarding rubble. Why? That this is a land grab. You don't have to take my work. You can easily. It's everywhere. It's in Instagram. Like TikTok, Google X. Amnesty International has a report. Please do your research. This is important. We are living and we are watching a genocide, the most documented genocide in history. Please watch it. It's hard. It's going to break your heart, but you need to watch it. They need us. They need us to know. For 78 years now, they suffer alone. They deserve your voice. They deserve you to know. They deserve you to remember the names. Please watch them.
I just want to add, we need to correct that narrative. It's not 77 years. It's 77 years since the occupation was established, but this has been going much, much longer.
And just to add, to what Maria was saying also, and especially that, I'm just going to touch on Maria correcting me when I said war and she said genocide. 100% it's a genocide, because when you think about a war, again, I think it's been said for hundreds of times, but when you think about a war, we're talking about two groups who have got pretty much the same level of equipment who are fighting each other. Okay, two groups, two countries, to whatever they are, the groups, I would call them groups, having the same level or at least slight difference in the level of equipment, right? But what we see here is that one part on one side is highly equipped, let alone that they have colonized that place. They have taken and dismissed and kicked out the people of that place and took it over, let alone that, but they are highly equipped and they are using this high-tech equipment and highly explosive and firepower against civilians. Does it actually make sense that all of these residential and commercial and civil blocks that were destroyed so far, which is a whole city, we're talking about a whole city that was destroyed, does it really make sense that this is a war against who? Even again, like Maria said, like using them as human shields, using the civilians as human shields, is that a good excuse? If that is an actual war, if that's a good excuse, just think about it this way when you research, please. It's more than enough when you put this in perspective and start researching. It's more than I'm 1000% sure that you would see the truth if you haven't seen it already over those years.
Yeah, that was very well said. I think that's how we should conclude this episode. It's unfortunately this is very important, and we cannot end this episode on a good note, like nothing's going on. This is very important to highlight. So you guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys are happy now. Ray finally made it here. Maria is on camera. Please don't have any more. Oh no, they started with Al-Nashmi, by the way. They want Al-Nashmi on camera now.
Yeah. look, I got myself in trouble now because I said that I'm going to be here in every episode, but
And you shouldn't say what you don't mean.
No. I'll be here in every episode, inshallah, unless you guys don't want me to be. That's number one. Or unless, something happens and I couldn't really make it.
Nothing happens.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for the opportunity, for the voice.
And see you guys soon. Well, next week. Peace.